Anyway, we'll go through some more hands and we'll try to practice that framework a little bit. So facing a bet, this was more of a tighter regular. And here we face an overbet, so we know we're going to get the follow through on the river more often, which is kind of gross. Slightly more often though, because he overbets compared to a solver. And we definitely have an EV generating call here. So I'm just going to click call. This is overfolding. This would be a gross overfold, and I wouldn't really do that unless my opponent is like the nittiest of nits. And then river's flush closing, and we face the third barrel here, and then we have decision here. So in game I was like, okay, the jack of, basically a jack is indifferent here generally. So top pair is indifferent. The jack of spades specifically is a very good card because he's going to barrel a bunch of ace jack of spades, king jack of spades, queen jack of spades, jack 10 of spades, jack 9 of spades. At least in theory very often on turn, and those are now value bets that we block. So king jack of diamonds might be mostly folding. This would probably generate some EV as a call, but it's close. It could be close to indifference. Actually looked at his hand, and king with the jack of spades is going to be generating like less than 1% of the pot here. So like it's a, I want to say 0.5 big blinds or something like that. And if you have king jack with a king of spades, then you are indifferent. In the grand scheme of things, for most regulars, we can just say we're pretty close to indifference here. And so I'm just going to look at the player profile. Is this guy capable of finding bluffs? Like in general, it's relatively easy to find bluffs because there's a lot of gut shots that he can find, straight draws that he can find with one spade hand. So this needs to be a relatively tight player in order for us to fold here. I ended up folding because he was a relatively tight player, but I think this is still debatable and we might be able to call. Like generally speaking, if my opponent is somewhat, I would never fold this in any competent pool where people are actually bluffing the river consistently. But in 200 now, you're going to have some players that are leaderboarding that just don't find any bluffs ever, and then you can fold sometimes. But generally, I would just call here. I think it's very debatable even now if you can fold.